This story is fictional and is made for entertainment purposes only. The following content may contain disturbing imagery. Watch at your own risk. You have been warned.
Hello, this is Creepy Stories, and I'm here with another story for you. Mexico. It is a destination for the unforgettable recreation of countless young people from America and overseas. Two adolescent girls, Mia and Tatum, at the end of a happy, carefree childhood and at the start of their adult lives, decide to make their old dream come true, not even realizing that their lives will be transformed forever. The hot night, the strange, spicy air, the loose rules, and the exciting allure of the unknown world are magnets for young people who want to party. A nightclub stands out amidst the light blue or pale pink houses, the cobblestone streets that are not regular at any level, and the ring of stray dogs without owners. It is a unique sight to see young, undulating bodies merging between the glowing beams of neon rays and mysterious substances that enhance happy feelings. The girls dance close together, holding hands, until Tatum's growing desire causes her to leave behind. For months, she had been on life's increasingly rough path. She wildly followed house parties and young boys, even trying to protect her with infinite understanding, like a winged protective soul from the clouds. The girls used the trip to try to prevent their friendship from running aground and sinking like a rock, but the foreign crowd tore the hands of the two of them. Mia felt that the threads of their relationship were also becoming weaker. Tatum, writhing wildly in the middle of the room, like some insect queen, attracted one vigorous boy after another. His gaze and the effect of his movements somehow became less and less like his old girlfriend. Mia left the strangers' mass and sought refuge at one of the alcohol-soaked, lonely, silent tables. Drinking a few glasses of tequila helped her organize her thoughts. It's hard to let go of such a strong bond, especially when it makes up a significant part of your short life. The girls were girlfriends even when they barely knew the world of numbers and letters. They loved the same movies and music. They often pretended to finish each other's sentences. Their families provided them with nearly as well-positioned, cohesive, and loving homes. But there was a fundamental but essential difference between them. Tatum's true ancestral roots, dating back many generations, do not come from vast America, but from southern Mexico. Apparently, it didn't show in her at all, but on her 16th birthday 4 months ago, something inside her began to change significantly. Her silent remembrance was broken by a tiny puff, but it was not the lonely tear that had gathered in her eyes that escaped, but a very mouth-watering cocktail of red and yellow cocktail that found the innocent girl. The polite intruder appeared in the image of a young boy who could be called Raul. Exotically tanned skin, an evocative look, a pleasantly caressing yet decidedly strong voice, and a cloud of some inexplicable but clearly attractive fragrance characterized the confident admirer. In short, the form taken fully followed the function. The mild-natured girl was impressed that this boy wanted to deal with her, not the night insect queen. After a few more lovely phrase changes and drinking cocktails, they disappeared into the confused darkness to find a more intimate place for themselves. The girls' rooftop hotel room, it was perfect for the night Mia will never forget. The scorching air quickly removed increasingly uncomfortable clothes. The delicate taste of kisses and the pleasant warmth of touches awakened the world of emotions dormant in the girl. The boy caressed her entire body with his lips, which responded clearly with gentle vibrations. Lying on her back on the brink of adulthood, Mia felt that everything was happening exactly as she wanted. The vortex of instincts and desires harmonized with each other as perfectly as a fragrantly seductive love perfume composed by a great master. Yet through the blindingly bright shields of euphoria passed a little murmur that reminded her most of the wing flapping of constantly annoying creatures that interrupted hot summers and interrupted afternoon rests. Unfortunately, this irrelevant disturbance has such a feature as a clock hand clicking at night. If you notice it, its increasingly sharp and powerful voice, You can't concentrate on anything else, and over time even the pinkest, densest fog will dissipate. But Mia realizes too late that she is only experiencing the events, but not controlling them at all on any level. The subtle touches around his wrist became tighter and tighter, like an old metal handcuff. She wanted to break free, but she simply didn't have the strength to do so, which she attributed to the pungent and sleepy smell spreading around the room. On the edge of the dream world, she had visions of a moth stuck in the slimy, sticky steel web of a big, fat spider. But the nightmarish, 8-legged little monster captured its unsuspecting but beautifully innocent victim not for food, but for some entirely different purpose. In reality, the room was swimming in yellowish light and stiflingly slimy violence, while the growing noise drowned out everything else around it. The next morning, Mia woke up alone, her mind perhaps defensively, but only vaguely recalling the events of the evening, especially from a certain point. But her tormented body is not so lenient with the girl. A bluish discoloration on the wrist and a few other points indicates the place of violent grip. But these traces are not at all similar to those of humans. It is as if they were the imprints of 3 huge beasts with much thicker and longer claws. The girl's body was desperately trying to get rid of the carefully selected mixture of toxins absorbed that evening. But the hope that it would help her vanished like the chitin armor of withering insects in the cruel sun. In his mind, the cruel storms, and in his body the unceasing pains, fought a duel of strength against their ever paler master. On the verge of collapse, unexpectedly, Tatum appeared in the corner of the room, as if sensing with his 6th instinct that someone was calling. Mia cried as she hugged her old girlfriend, who comforted her with gentle caresses. She tried to make sense of her confused thoughts and desperate emotional waves, but what really terrified her was her girlfriend's surprisingly calm, even cold attitude to what was being said. She even noticed a hidden, weak smile on his face as she stroked her belly embarrassingly with his hand. Alas, she lashed out at Tatum nervously. True, the girl had much more experience in exploring the maze-like, unknown world of intimacy like his ill-fated girlfriend. Thanks to his courage, she was no longer afraid of pain and bleeding. Sometimes novelty breeds horror, and terror can distort or magnify completely natural things. Visions and nightmares are simply imaginary. The childlike soul leaves the body, but at the same beautiful moment, the adult self emerges from the shell of a deep, dormant dream. Tatum puts Mia to bed in a comfortable, warm bed and promises to take her to the hospital if her condition doesn't improve by evening. The weakening girl slowly snuggles into the protective embrace of her friend towering over her. She even hums a very pleasant melody to him, which moms sing mostly to small children. Calculating care eventually lulls Mia to a land of very distant but safe imagination. Hours of rest were broken by the familiar, disturbing hum. The sound came from outside, and it was as if some unnameable creature was flying around the room, rubbing its gently rough, lightly built wings together. Mia felt her body burn with fever, and her condition didn't get any better. Moreover, the disease began to consume all its energy from the inside at an accelerating pace. She staggered into the bathroom to face her current self. But no matter what angle she looked at the mirror, she didn't recognize the tormented gray stranger looking back from it. His gaze was blurred, and life just flickered inside him. His nails were bleeding, and she could barely move his fingers from the crippling pain. His tongue brushed a little on one of his teeth, but it fell out of place. It fell out onto the white tile along with a few drops of yellowish blood. But it wasn't the human disintegration before his eyes that frightened her the most, but the series of small yet powerful aggressive vibrations she felt on his body, which appeared in so many places and shook her with a cold breath of fear. Her abdomen is clearly the biggest focus, but the pain is unstoppably spreading throughout her body. Fever dream nightmares chew out regular passages between flesh and skin. She felt more and more clearly that the disease weighing down on her like an enormous weight was using his body to grow. This wicked, life-giving mother saw her as her birth mother, her first food, and soon she would be strong enough to hatch. Now there is no point in fighting it. Perhaps inside, Mia knew that nothing could save her life. The seemingly abandoned girl has only enough strength to look out the window. The skyline of the city from the home of horrors is exactly the same as last night. Nestled among the vibrant yellow and red neon lights, disordered streets, and fading thin screams is the inhuman horror that keeps hunting. The fragile little girl shows great courage when she decides to confront the disgusting evil that is slowly gaining the upper hand and even clearly winning the game. She has neither the time nor the strength to leave a farewell message to his loved ones. But perhaps it is better not to see her in such a state. In their memory, she will live on happily, beautifully in body and soul. She slowly opens the window and allows the cold air of the night to conquer the room for himself. She stands up on the ledge and looks into the seductive eyes of endless darkness that will eliminate pain forever. Mia involuntarily sends forward a few yellow glowing tears into the unknown, but that doesn't deter her from his resolve for a second. His body trembles only from biting cold and torment, and not from fear. Eventually, she lets himself out of our world and takes with her the green, tormenting disease. His body may have become dark, but perhaps his soul can rest in a better place. That same night, in other secluded and damp or surprisingly beautiful and safe spots in the city, tiny little flying balls of light swarm in search of a new place to live where they can grow undisturbed and hide among people. But 16 years later, fueled by an irresistible inner desire, the survivors will all return. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Thanks for watching, and watch your back.